This is lesson 3.7, measurement, perimeter, and area. At the end of gym class, Mrs. Dalton has the students run around the perimeter of the gym. If the students run around the gym 5 times, how far would they run? Explain how you can use both multiplication and addition to find the distance. Well, if we add 107 plus 107 plus 111 plus 111, that would give us the distance around the gym using addition. If we multiply that times 5, we get the distance that students would run 5 times around the gym, which is 2,180 feet, both distances in feet. The distance around a geometric figure is called the perimeter. To find the perimeter of a rectangle, use these formulas. The perimeter P of a rectangle is twice the sum of the length and the width. So we could add length plus width, or we could add 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, or 2 times the length plus the width. In this example, it says find the perimeter of a rectangle. We're going to use the formula 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So we substitute the length of 15 for the variable L. We substitute the width 4 for the variable W. We multiply. 2 times 15 is 30. 2 times 4 is 8. We add, and we get the sum of 38. So the perimeter of this particular rectangle is 38 centimeters. Find the perimeter of a rectangle whose length is 14.5 inches and width is 12.5 inches. We'll use the same formula. So we'll say perimeter equals 2L plus 2W. So 2 times 14.5 plus 2 times 12.5 gives us 29 plus 25, or a perimeter of 54 inches. Elon is designing a rectangular garden. He finds the width to be 8 inches. He also wants to put a fence around the garden. If he has 40 feet of fencing, what is the greatest length the garden can be? Again, using the formula 2 times length plus 2 times width, we substitute 40, which is our perimeter, for P in our formula, and 8, which is our width, into our formula. We multiply 2 times 8, gets 16. We then undo that addition with subtraction. We subtract 16 from both sides of the equation. Gives us 24 equals 2 times the length. We divide both sides of that equation by 2, and we find then that the length is 12. The greatest length the garden can be is 12 feet. Angela bought a frame for a photo of her friends. The width of the frame is 8 inches. If the distance around the frame is 36 inches, what is the length of the frame? So we'll use our same formula that we used before. Perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Our perimeter is 36. In this case, we don't know the length, but we do know the width. So we multiply 2 times 8, we get 16. 36 equals 2 times the length plus 16. We subtract 16 from both sides of our equation. We get 20 equals 2L. We divide both sides of our equation by 2, and we get a length of 10 inches. The area of a rectangle is the product of the length and the width, using the formula area equals length times width. Find the area of the top of the wooden train table shown at the right, using the formula area equals length times width. We substitute 49 for the length, 35 for the width. We multiply the two together, and we get an area of 1,715 square inches, because area is measured in square inches or square units. Find the perimeter and the area of the top of a video game console that measures 18 inches long and 15 inches wide. So for perimeter, we're going to use 2L plus 2W, 2 times 18 plus 2 times 15 gives us 36 plus 30, or a perimeter of 66 inches. Our area would be length times width, in this case 18 times 15. We'll use the distributive property and distribute the 15 to the 18, so we get 180 plus 90. 180 is 18 times 10, and 90 is 18 times 5. So we find that we have an area of 270, in this case, square inches. Use area to find a missing side. Our formula is area equals length times width. We know the area, we know the width, so we would divide both sides of our equation by 8.7, gives us the length of 6.2. We can manipulate that formula, area equals length times width, by dividing both sides of the equation by W. Gives us a new formula which says area divided by the width equals the length. So in this case we could take the area divided by the width and gives us the length. Notice that both answers are the same. The length of the rectangle is 6.2 feet. What is the width of a rectangle that has an area of 135 square meters and a length of 9 meters? We're going to use the same formula that they used here. Area equals length times width. Now they give us the length, so we're going to divide both sides by the length, which tells us that area divided by length equals width. In this case, our area is 135. Our length is 9. So our width then would be equal to 15. Find the perimeter of each rectangle. In number 1, perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. 2 times 5 plus 2 times 4. 10 plus 8, 18 yards. Number 2, perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. 2 times 4.5 plus 2 times 1.9 gives us 9 plus 3.8, or a perimeter of 12.8, in this case, centimeters. Number 3, a photograph is 5 inches wide. The perimeter of the photograph is 24 inches. What is the length? So we use again our formula. Perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Our perimeter is 24. We don't know the length, but we do know the width. So 24 equals 2L plus 10. Subtract 10 from both sides to undo the addition. So 14 equals 2L. Divide both sides of the equation by 2, which tells us that our length is 7. In this case, it's feet. Or back up to our original equation, our original problem, it would be inches. Problem number 4. Now we're finding area. So we're going to use the formula area equals length times width. So area equals 3.8 times 1. So our area in this case is 3.8 millimeters or meters, excuse me, squared. Number 5. Area equals length times width. Our length is 5.25 times our width of 5. So 5, 12, 26, 25, in this case feet, squared, 2,625 square feet. The area and length of a rectangle are 30 square feet and 6 feet respectively. What is the width? So we know that area equals length times width. So that would mean if we have the length, we could take the area, divide by the length to get the width. So we have the area, which is 30, and the length, which is 6. That means that our width is 5. In this case, feet. 2 vocabulary terms in this lesson. They are perimeter, the distance around a closed geometric figure, and area, the number of square units needed to cover a surface enclosed by a geometric figure. Those vocabulary must be learned for the vocabulary test that comes at the end of the chapter. At this point, you should quit the video. Go to my Moodle page, take lesson quiz 3-6. Log in using your username, which is your 6-digit student number, and your password, which is the first 6 letters of your last name, and your 2-digit birth date.